This is our word problem review, and we're starting off with the word problems that are adding and subtracting. So the first one, at a party, Andy and April shared a cherry pie cut into 10 pieces. Andy ate 3/8 of the pie, and April ate 2/8 of the pie. What fraction of the pie did they eat all together? Well, all together tells me that I'm going to add, and so my equation is 3/10 that Andy ate, and the 2/10 that April ate, and that's going to tell me the fraction of the pie. Okay? When I'm adding, and my denominator is the same, so my denominators are the same, all I need to do is add the numerators. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and then my denominator just moves over and stays the same. So they ate 5/10, or half of the pie. On the second one, when Leslie arrived at the party, 7/8 of the pumpkin pie was left. If Leslie ate 2/8 of the pie, then how much was left? Normally when I find out what's left or what was remaining or anything like that, I am going to subtract. And we started with 7/8 of the pie, and she ate 2/8 of the pie. So 7/8 minus 2/8 equals P. And again, when my denominators are the same, it just moves over, and then I complete the numerator. 7 minus 2 is 5, so 5/8 of the pie was left. On the back, Donna has read 3/8 of the books in her library. If she reads another 2/8 of the books this summer, what fraction of her books will she have read by the end? So I'm reading another, so I want to add. So I'm going to say 3/8 plus 2/8. 3 plus 2 is 5, and my 8 stays. So 5/8. At the beginning of summer, 7/10 of the pages in Tom's journal were blank. If he wrote in 2/10 of the pages over the summer, what fraction of the pages were still empty? So I want to figure out what's left, which is an indication that I'm subtracting. So we had 7/10. We wrote in 2/10. 7 minus 2 is 5 out of the 10 pages. So 5 of the 10 pages were still blank. The next one. Ron brought cupcakes to school to share with his classmates. By lunchtime, 3/6 of the cupcakes were left. After lunch, another 1/6 were eaten. By the end of the day, what fraction of the cupcakes were left? So we had 3/6 left. So I still had 3/6. So out of the 6 cupcakes, I still had 3 of them. After lunch, another one was eaten. So do I have it anymore? Nope. So I'm going to subtract that away from what I had. 3 minus 1 is 2, and I still started with 6 cupcakes. So now I have 2 of the 6 cupcakes that were there. And the last one. Before recess, Jerry put together 2/5 of his puzzle. I love puzzles. After recess, he put together another 1/5 of the puzzle. So he had 2/5 done, and he finished another 1/5. So we want to add that to what we've already done. 2 plus 1 is 3, and my denominator stays. So we had 3/5 of the puzzle. That's the first page of our word problem. Then we go on to our word problems with multiplying, fractions, and whole numbers. So there are 6 students in Angela's book club. 2/3 of the students in her group are boys. How many boys are in Angela's reading group? So there are 6 students, and 2/3 of the students are boys. So I'm going to do 6 times that 2/3. To do that, I keep my denominator the same, and I multiply my numerator. So I do 6 times 2 is 12. So I have 12 thirds. This is left as an improper fraction, but I can turn this into a mixed number, or in this case, a whole number, by dividing. 3 goes into 12 4 times evenly. And that makes sense that it's an even number because I'm talking about people. I wouldn't want a third of a person. So there are 4 boys and 6 students in the book club. The next one. There are 8 players on Stan's basketball team. 3/4 of those 8 players are able to make it to this weekend's game. How many of Stan's teammates will be there to play? So out of 8 total, only 3/4 can be there. So even though I'm writing a multiplication problem, I'm like taking that 8 and breaking it up and finding what 3/4 of it is. So I'm doing 8 times 3/4, and that's how many teammates will be there. Okay. So when I write that to solve it, my denominator doesn't change. It just moves over. And then I multiply the top. 8 times 3 is 24. And then I want to figure out what that is as a mixed number or whole number. And 4 goes into 24 6 times. So 6 teammates can go to the game. On to the back. Michael asked 8 of his friends what season of the year they prefer. 5/8 of his friends say summer. So we're going to do 8 times 5/8. 8 times 40. My denominator stays the same. And 40 divided by 8 is 5. Jim is having a barbecue with 10 of his friends. 6 of his friends want hot dogs. So we're doing 10 of the friends want hot dogs. Or out of the 10 people, 2/5 want hot dogs. So 10 times 2 is 20. And my denominator stays. So I find out that 4 want hot dogs. Kelly is making ice cream cones for her 6 friends. 1/3 of those 6 want sprinkles. So we're going to do 6 times 1/3. 6 times 1 is 6, and my denominator stays a 3. And 3 goes into 6 twice. So 2 friends want sprinkles. And there are 10 girls on Pam's soccer team. 3/5 of them scored a goal last week. How many of the players scored a goal? So I want to multiply those 10 girls by the 3/5 that scored. 10 times 3 is 30. My denominator stays the same. 5 goes into 30 6 times. You'll notice for all of these, when I'm multiplying by that fraction, my answer is smaller than the number I'm starting with. I'm starting with, and my answer is 2. I'm starting with 10, and my answer is 6. Okay? That's because by multiplying by a fraction, I'm finding part of that number. So it makes sense that the numbers are. Okay? That is our word problem review.